Let's return to the games, because like I do think as badly as G2 has done in the second round robin, like people are going to underestimate this team. This team can win. This team can win MSI. Like that is not. It's not a good chance, but we saw what they're capable of, and we saw what Caps on an individual level is capable of. And even though, again, it's the same thing with RNG. Is RNG as well balanced as T1? No. Can they have pop off performances on players like Gala? Yes. Can G2, can Caps go Super Saiyan and win this event? He absolutely could. Like that is not an unreasonable thing to say given the peaks that we've seen from him at this tournament. And if Broken Blade, if they get their shit together and Broken Blade stops playing weird stuff that doesn't really do anything and starts to play a little bit more meta and has an effect on this game, then he can come back into form as well. Because as you said, Thorin, they were playing through him for a lot of the season and even a lot of the playoffs on G2 before Caps got back into shape. So he's capable of carrying these games. Now, will they do that? I don't think so, but it's not like they have a 0% chance of winning this event. That's like they could absolutely upset T1.
For me as well, the way you do it's obvious. It's what ochs said earlier. It's all the fucking resources you can fit in that bad boy called Caps. You fucking put them all in and you draft everything you can to set him up. Because here's the mad thing. I know this is going to blow people's minds because anytime Faker wins LCK and goes international, they have to believe it's old Faker. I think Caps is better right now than Faker. I don't even think that's like an unreasonable statement to say.
I think he's less consistent.
Look at the highs. If I look at when they play directly, even at times, like I think overall he might be the better mid lane, especially like traditionally. Because here's the thing: Faker enables the rest of the team. Caps just carries, mate. Correct. So that would even be my way to do it. It's like, right, they can try if they want to help the rest of them out. Let's smash that lane as hard as we can. Let's trap him.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a similar thing with Xiao. I think both of these players aren't the big individual carries of the region, and Caps is, and I think you invest everything into that. And like mid is just such a broken lane because like mid is the one that has the best proximity to everywhere else on the map. So if you enable mid, you can shut down anything they're trying to do on other areas. If you can get Caps in a position where you can be strong and move. But yeah, just going to Monte's point about the T1 potentially getting upset. I feel like also we've had this knockout arrangement, which is like the highest potential for upsets. Because I think if T1 were first seed, they would just smash EG, and then whoever gets to come up against them, obviously there's a good chance. But the fact that T1 have to go through G2 Esports and RNG, again, I think G2's chance is lower than RNG, but the fact that all that happens is one of them has to have a banger series. And we've seen stranger things at MSI, which everyone's kind of referencing back in the day when we had IG losing to TL. Like that was obviously, I don't think RNG are sort of team to do something like that. But even so, like we've seen like these crazy upsets come out. So definitely possible.
But overall, I think T1, it feels like a T1 RNG finals is at hand. Yeah. I think EG probably has no chance in this matchup. So overall, I think it seems like we started the show this way when we had Ochs on. We agree T1 probably going to take this one.
I've got the way you characterize it for the RNG EG series to make it simple. Like they said earlier, essentially RNG's strengths are just better version of what they've got in the fucking EG team. So the problem is this. Probably a counterintuitive point that fans often miss in analysis is you'll notice most times when you want a great final, a great match, you want conflicting and contrasting styles. That's why in combat sports they say styles make fights. Because just like in combat sports, if two people have the same style and one is slightly better, he can either A, just neutralize the other and it's a boring game, or B, he just shits on the other guy and then the other guy looks rubbish, but he's not rubbish. It's just that he doesn't have any strengths to play. He doesn't even have, that's why we were talking about earlier. One of the reasons I always loved seeing teams like Gigabyte Marines, the Buffaloes, is because it's like they know that they can't play the normal macro and meta style whatsoever. They have to be the most weirdest, fucked up David Lynch League of Legends team.
That's what G2 was historically.
They might be able to score a win and get some crazy chance to win in the game. In this particular case, I can't even envision what drafting philosophy could possibly do anything against RNG? What lane are you going to play through? Who's the pop-off? Hey, listen, if it happens, by the way, here's what's good about us being honest in a way the real desk won't be. It's because if somehow EG pulls this off, holy fuck, forget the TLI one. This will be the craziest Western upset ever in League of Legends. So if they can do it, God bless. The problem is, right now, I'm looking Doctor Strange through all the fucking... I can't find the one where they win. There isn't one.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
There's a wild
I even think like people will point to like RNG and be like, oh, you know, Bin's been. I think even if Bin has like the worst game of his life, RNG know what Bin can do, right? In terms of he can run a game down, they're ready for that, right? I feel like it won't even shake them. That Shaho will just go, Bin, you're useless. Go run in and die and give us some space. That'll literally be the dynamic. And yeah, I think that's the shame. Is that I think G2 were the if there was going to be an upset from the West, it was going to be G2 against RNG, and you know, missed out on that.
Also, the copium of like, as you say, everyone goes to, but in the finals, though, they were like behind in those. Yeah, get fucking top esports. Do you know the mechanics of some of those players? That was not evil geniuses they were playing, homies. Like, give me a break.
Yeah, I always thought that.
You go play top esports. See how you do in the fucking early game, mate.
That was always a weird one because I think there was this sentiment that came in because I mean, a lot of people do this generally, but like, you know, T1 obviously were clearly top of the region. G2 Esports and Evil Geniuses, their last two series with 3-0s, right? And RNG had like a proper fight. And so people think, oh, you know, they got challenged, had really bad early games, therefore they're not that good. And I'm like, is that the case? Like, do you not see the fact that top esports are just like this fantastic? And it's like people discredit, like they say, oh, RNG are terrible early and top esports are terrible mid game, or maybe part of it is also the strength on the side. Like maybe top esports are fantastic early and RNG are fantastic in the mid game. And like, no, they look bad, so therefore these teams just suck. And you know, Evil Geniuses went 3-0, so they're just better, I guess.
I'd even use this analogy because obviously, like you're saying, within context, they're all good teams. They're all top ones. This is like when they do that thing in superhero movies that I can't handle, Monte, where they have this universe, like Marvel universe, that features all these different ones. So they feature, Monte, Norse gods who can call down the power of the electricity and the thunder. They feature like beings that can just literally like fucking just like Incredible Hulk, impossible, invulnerable. And then they'll just have like a human who's got like fucking like really good
Black
Navy
Widow.
SEAL skills. And what they have to do is awkwardly and shittily write the script so they never actually fight against one of those guys that would OP destroy them instantly. And they make it so that, like, bizarrely, that they're just always getting an even matchup, that they're just like 15 out, 149, and go, oh, well, I win it, it's on the edge. They never, and the problem with MSI is that's like you've taken fucking Black Widow and she is fighting Thor and then she's fighting the Incredible Hulk and then finally she just fights like fucking Thanos himself with the Infinity Gauntlet and you're going, maybe she's got a chance. It's like, in what universe, brother? In what universe? You know what I mean?
It is convenient that they just self-select. It's like it really is like a staged, you know, fight. It's like a fight card, right? Where it's like, you know, there are the people going for the title fight who are clearly better, and the undercard is there fighting at the same event, but they're not going to fight. You know, you have to work your way up, right? So that's why
Thanos had just gone straight to like Wakanda, just killed all the humans, then I'd go straight to like the New York, kill all the. I'd wait till the end to fight the really hard people. I wouldn't take them on first for the universe. Why would you?
Why didn't you
take an easy fight?
Why didn't you just blow up Earth? Like, what the fuck is he even doing?
They could do that as well.
It's incredible that Earth causes him so many problems when he could just kill everybody instantly. I don't know.
Then there wouldn't be a movie. That's true. I mean, that's what it always is.
Well, that's the problem, though. You've hit the nail on the head, Ochs. The problem is they have creative license within that. This is reality, and the game League of Legends is not aware of any of these storylines. It just processes inputs, and the problem is if you're not as good at bashing on the keys and moving your mouse, it just goes, sorry, you lose, and actually I've delivered a rubbish game. And so that may indeed be what happens, unfortunately. Because I have to say the same thing. Like, here's the real problem of when they give the IG example. IG always had erratic elements to how they played. They already would like snowball and anti-snowball and throw. Here's the real problem. The two players, one is called Xiaohu, one is called Ming, they are not going to lose a best of 5 to EG. They are not going to let it happen. They are not going to let these games get away. They can lose a game. I cannot see them losing 3 out of 5. I don't think it can happen with players like that. Because that's like 2 captain level, like fucking anime genius level fuckers in the same team against rookies. Give me a break.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And it's like those two, because I mean, IG, as you said, are volatile. I was actually saying if top esports were here, it'd be fantastic. But I could have seen them coming first or coming 5th. I get like top esports, a team who are like volatile like that. But RNG, no, it's just, you know, they will do what you expect them to do. They may not be able to beat T1, but they will do what you expect them to do, and they won't lose to Evil Geniuses. So people are like presenting that whole IG thing, and it's just like, nah, different teams, different teams.
It's also if EG is able to win and Jojo Pian is has a good performance, right? This might be the best rookie performance since literally Faker. I don't think that's you know, going from his rookie season where he went from close to being in the top of champions to then winning champions to then winning the world championship within the context of his rookie year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It would have to be. It would have to be on that level to sort of be possible. But honestly, I'll be impressed if they get a game, which sounds really negative. We've been pretty negative. I'll be impressed if they get a game. So
I think we all would be.
In my mind, that's the aim. Just get one.
I think G2 will. I think G2 will win a game against. I agree. I think T1 will fuck up their draft because I still think they're kind of unsure about what they want to do themselves, and they're going to be trying things in this best of 5 in order to suss that out for the fun.
Here's my prediction. The reason it'll give you a little bit of hype and then it'll just go away is because I think G2 will also come in confident. Like, they've had some great games here. They know anything's possible. They know they've got someone like Caps who for once maybe even has like a mismatch against Bloody Faker. Right, in this world, here's what I think happens. I think they'll split the first 2 games and then T1 just wins all the rest. Because the other thing about Koreans that I've always found really hard, and Westerners just seem to intentionally ignore this, is Western teams typically come in with their idea, the best possible idea at the beginning of the veto, and they start in game 1 and they sort of have to front run a bit, and then if they can do that and they can keep the steam up, they can win the series. The Koreans, the really great Korean teams stacked with players, they can start out without even knowing how to play that team and they just get stronger as it goes on. And that's why some of the Korean game 5s in history are just like fucking masterpieces where the other team just actually had no chance and was like, what the fuck, I thought I had a chance at that. It was only one game for all the marbles, but I never even got a lick, Because I still think, as we said earlier on before ochs came on, no matter what happens, I hope it can be a brilliant game, T1 versus RNG, but I actually do think T1 is going to win this tournament.
I think 3-1.
Even if it feels boring to people, I just think they will. And I think, by the way, when they do, I think a lot of the drama from the group stage just goes away, evaporates the second they lift that trophy. Exactly.
I feel like for me, RNG will 3-0 EG, T1 will 3-1 G2, and then I think I'm hoping, but I think 3-2 T1 in the finals. But again, it really depends what T1 we get, whether it'll be like that close or not. But I'm hoping 3-2. I mean, 3-2 T1 would just be fantastic, and then regardless of who wins, who really cares?
Here's the problem as well. So we actually need T1 to win. I know it's going to seem weird to you because you're rooting for RNG, because think about it, you can't win either way. If RNG wins, well, logically, they're on other sides of the bracket. Joe Marsh is just going to point out they won all the scrims, didn't they? So it wasn't legit.
Also,
checkmate. Checkmate. Yeah.
The ping issue being from home. Like, there's so many asterisks to this event. If T1 doesn't win, it's going to be a fucking shit show.
I think it's a shit show either way, because if T1 do win, it's like, oh my god, they lost even without a T1 lose. It's like, oh my god, this is why T1. I mean, ignoring that, I feel like T1 winning would be the best case, because I mean, China's been so dominant recently in internationals anyway. T1, like people saw this team come out of the region. It was like, this is by and far the best Korean team. Like, this wasn't just they had like a good playoffs run. This is like, this is the best Korean team at the moment. There's like a gap between the rest, I would say. And if they lose here, then people are going to question the LCK. I think Worlds is going to be a better tournament for China because they tend to send 4 stacked rosters that are very different stylistically, and then all we need is one to hit the right meta. Like, you'll get one team who FPXs it and gets knocked out early because the meta's wrong and they have a horrible read, and then one team will just be like EDG where they have the right run.
FPXs it and goes all the way and wins the final because of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
The FPX double-edged sword. Exactly. I know exactly. It's ridiculous.
It's insane, but I feel like T1 should win this tournament, and then T1 will go to Worlds and will have a good run at Worlds. But I think going up against 4 potential strong Chinese seeds, that's where China has more of a chance, more odds. But yeah, I think the T1 winner would make sense.
I think there's at least more hope with Noguri playing again, which fixes a lot of Damwon's issues that they had in the spring split. So I think the field in Korea is going to be more competitive, because like it was just like a 2-horse race, and everybody knew that Gen.G was like the shittier horse, right? It really wasn't ultra competitive, but I think that hopefully the return of Noguri and Damwon, getting him back, hopefully having that power in the top lane again, will turn them into a real threat, so that Korea can have multiple teams that could, in theory, do at Worlds. Because right now, if you took it as it is, yeah, I agree that China's significantly more threatening.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so too. Just I want a sick tournament. I think so many fans get so invested in like who actually wins in the end, but even the fact that I'm casting the LPL, for me, I just want to bang a tournament. Like, it's not getting worked up over who gets the trophy at the end. I know obviously fans are passionate about that and stuff, but I just want to see Sick League Legends.
Good take. Well, I think that'll do it. We've put our predictions in. Thank you very much for joining us, Ox. Thor and I are going to take some viewer questions, but we'll come back after just a little break, and we'll see you then.
Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.